Hey everyone, this is episode 7. I'm still recording. I just recorded episode 6. Episode 7, I'm still here in Blowing Rock. I'm sitting out by the fire pit. Just sitting out here hanging out to record this video, and it's just nice out here. It's 67 degrees. It was about 50 last night. It got pretty cool up here. So I actually got on sweatpants. I could probably have on shorts right now in this weather, but I still have on the sweatpants, just out here enjoying the weather and the fire from last night. You can't tell, but it's still smoking. So today we're going to talk about my mom's side of the family. My mom is Maisie Jane Gray. She was born Maisie Jane Gray. She's also Maisie Jane Rhodes, Maisie Jane Quigley, and Maisie Jane Huesner. She was married 3 times. She had 5 kids. Just a little bit about my mom. She's also a grandmother and a great-grandmother, and all the grandkids and some of us kids started calling her Babu. We got that from when my nephew JJ was born. He was little and he was trying to say grandma or whatever he was calling her, and he started calling her Babu, and it's just been Babu for everybody ever since then. Anyway, my mom's side of the family has got some stories and a little bit unique. Sets things a little bit differently. My grandfather's name was James People Gray. I never remember meeting him. I think he had a stroke when he passed away, and he died when I was 1.5 years old. Sometime in 1967 he died. He's buried in Seminole Springs as well. My dad's buried there, my brother's buried there, my mom's buried there, and her mom's, my grandmother's buried there. My grandmother's name was Nellie Marie Gray. I think she was born in 1901 or 1904, but she died in 1976. I was 10, so I knew my grandmother pretty well. Just a lovely, great person who just loved us to death and loved everybody to death. She actually lived on the corner of Jones and 441 there in Zellwood. Not exactly on the corner. You took a left on, if you're going towards Mount Dora, you took a left onto Jones and an immediate right beside that train track. And you went down about a block, and she lived in a little 1-bedroom shack. And it definitely was just a wooded up shack that my grandma lived in. It had 1 room. I say 1 bedroom. It wasn't 1 bedroom. It was an efficiency house. And then it had a kitchen off to the side. Remember, she had chickens. I was always scared of the chickens, and we roamed around Zellwood when she lived there, and that's where she always lived all the time that I remember. My mom and dad would get in an argument sometimes, and my mom would leave my dad for a little while, a week, few weeks, or whatever. And most of the time, every time when my grandmother was living, we went and stayed with my grandmother. That was all before I went to school. The last time I remember moving out there with Grandma, we stayed for about, I don't know, 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks, and I went to a preschool. If you go further down towards Mount Dora, there on the left, I went to a preschool down there for that time. Oh, I hated leaving my mom. I had never done that, and it was tough on me. Like I said, I was either 5 or 6, and they made us take naps of all things. I didn't take a nap very well. The other kids did pretty good, but I didn't. Other than that, I got along great out there. While we were there, my mom worked at Zellwind Farms. That's where my grandmother worked the whole time I knew her. She worked at Zellwind Farms. I want to say that she was 76 when she died, so that would have made her born in 1901 because she died before her birthday. Her birthday was actually July 4th. So she was born July 4th, Independence Day, 1901, and she died in 1976 when she was 76 years old. She hadn't had her birthday yet when she passed away. But she worked all her life, as I said, at Zellwind Farms. Hard worker. I remember she got hurt one time. She got hit by a forklift. It messed up her legs, and she was sore for a while. She just kept working, even though she had Social Security, which probably in 1976 was $200 a month, and I don't know, but it probably wasn't very much. I know she took us 4 kids, me, Bruce, Keith, and Marie, and my mom, and I think my dad went a couple times, to Six Gun Territory. That's the only amusement park I ever went to until I was an adult, was Six Gun Territory. She took us out there. She loved to take us, and we it was definitely a treat for us. Anyway, my my grandmother, the one that I'm talking about, that was such a hard worker. She not only was a hard worker, she had 16 kids. 16. So I have 15 aunts and uncles on that side of my family. Um, Unfortunately, I can only name 15 of them. I don't know who I'm missing, and that's really sad. Don't don't grow up not knowing your family if you can help it. Hopefully, you're around your family. Whether it's sad when families don't get along. They don't get along for things that they would forgive a stranger for, but they wouldn't forgive each other for. Never just wake up in a forgiving mood. You'll be happier for it, and you'll live life happier. And then, you know, don't hold grudges. Those things are awful. And when you hold them to family, you're not the only one that you're hurting. Is not just you. You're hurting your kids if you keep your kids away from their aunts and uncles. You know, and there was always some sort of turmoil on my grandmother's side. Anyway, 16 kids, 5 sets of twins. 5 sets. So yes, twins run in my family. No, I'm not one of them, but my mom is a twin. She has a twin sister. My mom is Maisie, and her twin sister was Daisy. And their birthday was August 1st. I knew some of my aunts and uncles that were younger, like my mom. Some of them were quite a bit older. I think that all of them were. I think there might have been 3 husbands in the kids that my grandma had. But could you imagine 16 kids? She got pregnant 11 times. So 9 months times 11 is 99 months that she was pregnant of her life. An amazing woman. You may see some helicopters fly over. They look like they're military choppers. They may like this area for some reason. I don't really know what's out here, but they just came out of nowhere. Anyway, about my grandmother's side of the family, well, my mom's side of the family, that's the amazing thing is the 16 kids and grandkids. All of them have passed away now. The last one to pass away was my Uncle Richard. He passed away last year. He had cancer, and we knew some of them more as adults. As adults, I made it, and my family made it up to try to get together. So we knew some of them, and I have some really great cousins and that I know really well on that side of the family. Anyway, that's just a little bit about my grandmother. Sorry this one's so long, but there's a lot to tell there, and there'll be a lot more stories of their history and growing up and how my mom lived on an island with no car or anything when she was a kid and different things that happened. There's some good stories coming. Just hold tight. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll talk to everyone soon.